The first question that I want to ask you is the title. If you can say some little words about Lucio's sentiments and your author's also intention about the title.
Well, it's very interesting because Lucio is a boy who chose his own name. In general, most people get the name that their parents put them. Many times with transgender kids, the thing is that they find their own name, they choose their own name. So it's a very interesting approach to how you build your own identity. So I think that's a very interesting point. So as he is going through his identity construction, I thought that, and that's what differentiates him from his father, you know, that his father chose a name for him once and then he chose his own name. So that's something that bonded, and at the same time, like, I don't know the English word for this, gets them closer and the opposite of closer.
Yeah, not very far, sometimes far in the same relationship.
That's right.
But do you think in this nice characterization that you have made about Lucius and also his fathers, is it a good question to ask you if you think that the father struggles more than Lucio about his trying to be close, in fact, to Lucius, or it's more about the struggles of Lucius? In other words, do you think it's more a film about the trans identity of Lucio, or it's more a film about the relationship between the father and the son for you?
I believe it's more in the relationship between both of them. I believe it's about like how maybe you can go through something that big when you are that young, just alone, or if it's very difficult. But it's also very difficult to find your place to support someone going through that. So yes, the difficulty is in their bond. They are trying to find out how they can bond, you know, like what's the best place to be, how much they can talk, how much they should be in silence, like that limit. And I think they will find it.
It's really beautiful. I really like your film for the subtles of the characterization of the characters. They are never evil or too much black and white. They're always in these little things to understand that the father really tried to offer him the sweet her, swim her, or for the invitation of the dinner. And really, he's really nice. And at the same time, I really understand completely Lucius as well, and his really big journey of accepting himself and also about his fathers. But I want to ask you, what do you think about the possibility to choose during the screenwriting process a boy who is always in transition, or if have you already thought about film a teenager who is trans, already emancipated from the beginning? What does it change for you? It was
I think he already, I think he's a transgender boy. He has clear that he is a boy. He's not transitioning. He already had in some way, but I think we are always like still building our own identities. And he has been until now like in this little bubble of his family and his closest friends, and he knows that something bigger is coming. He's going through puberty, he's going to go to high school to meet more people, and he knows something is going to change. So he knows he's a boy, but he knows that he's going to have a different period of his life where he will still be defining himself.
Okay, so it's very optimistic at the end.
Well, I think he's really afraid yet. So he doesn't know what's going to come. Like, he knows he's a boy, he knows he's transgender, he knows his family loves him, he knows he's had a lot of support, but he doesn't know what's going to come next. He knows something is going to change because he's growing and new things are coming and new people are coming. So he's a bit afraid of all that. You know, it's like the sea. He can go to the shore and look at this big, huge sea, and he's afraid of that. It's like he's attracted. He can see that's coming, but he's a bit afraid yet. He may need someone to be with him at that point.
Yeah, it represents his inner state of mind and how he's feeling this sea also. But how did you find there's this rhythm also without a lot of words? It was more during the editing or already during the screenwriting process or during the shooting to say, okay, he is not able to sleep, he go to the sea, and without words, we understand his feelings. It's very, very beautiful, but how did you arrive to these results to just make feeling his sentiment?
While I was writing, I was trying all the time to put less and less and less words, but it still had much more words that then we decided to take away. Actually, the producer, once we were with the editor and the producer, Anna Reseger and Lucia Vela, the producer, we were the three of them watching it, and Lucia said, we have to take all this. And I said, no one's going to understand. Yes, they are going to understand. We had to take all these words. You know, you will understand. And we tried it, and we look at each other and say, okay, this is going to be fine. And it was, but I was really, really afraid of taking dialogues because I think it's not that common. It's not like everyone is going to say, oh, okay, this is what's happening. It's not something you see every day in every movie. So I was afraid, yes.
But it was very well. Is it a place that you know very well, this place, the roads, the beach in Argentina, or it was a place that you didn't know a lot before shooting?
I didn't. I mean, we kind of have these all these towns or cities near the beach, which are near my city, but not that much. We decided, okay, let's just look for one of them. Like, it's close enough to our city, but it had to have a sea. It's common for many people from my city, which is the capital of Argentina, to go for holidays there. It's like a 3-4 hour car drive, which in a huge country like Argentina, it's just it's so little.
Okay. And do you made a lot of research book? Did you read some things about the characters that helps you to make it real somewhere, or it was just more making interview with some trans boys? Or
Well, everything. I was really investigating a lot. That I read a lot. I watched everything I could watch. I hear that I went to organizations. I talked with kids, to parents, and then, well, actually, yeah. I mean, I talked to many people. Yes, I did a lot of research actually.
But how was the shooting? Did you decide some value, like to be more or less all the time on the close-up of Luchos and very distant from the father, or you don't define anything because you more follow your intuition and your feeling on the set? Did you shot with a crew that you know very well before, or it was the first time? Can you tell a little bit about the decision of the shot that you decide on the set? Because I really like some shot, and maybe you can tell me why and how did you arrive to this nice decision, not to let, like, for example, the father in the very large at the beginning calling his daughters to Lucio to the table, and then yeah, it's really really nice, and I want to understand how did you choose now to.
Thank you so much. I did plan as much as I could because because I don't have that much experience, so I was much calmer if I had it all planned. I talked a lot with the photography director or director of photography, Constanza, which is a genius, very talented. So we were investigating a lot how could we talk about these characters, how the camera was going to follow them or tell them. It wasn't decided to be more close or more far away from the characters, but that wasn't a decision, but it depends on which situation we were. We had to be closer or more far away because we were trying to tell about the relationship they had with their surroundings. So sometimes he was such in an intimate, you want to just go into his mind and know what he's feeling. And sometimes you just want to, to just put them in a more comfortable place where everything is where it has to be. And sometimes you just want to show how little and how alone he is in something much bigger and moving and frightening. So it's more like the relationship between the characters and the surroundings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any project that you are working now, and can you maybe tell a little bit about? Is it linked about the body or the identity as your previous short film, or?
Yes, actually, I'm filming a documentary about 3 transgender caretakers that work in a nursing home here in Buenos Aires. But we had to stop the shooting because everything that's happening, and because this is a nursing home for the elderly, so it's a very they need to be secure, so it's not good if we go there and film. And we're starting developing a new documentary where actually Tristan, the actor of the short film, will be the protagonist, but it's in a very, very early stage of development.
Nice. And maybe you can also ask, I would also ask you, how did you cast Tristan, and how did you also prepare him for the role? Because I read in the press kit that he's able to sing and drawing and so on. So all this quality, how did you deal it with it? And how did you work with him? Yes.
Well, the casting was very, very, very interesting. We cast a lot of transgender boys, which was a very intimate and profound process where we learned a lot, actually. It was very emotional. And between all them, we found Tristan, which we felt it was perfect for the role. Not because he is like Lucho, he's very different than the character, actually, but he was very happy outside and talkative and was not shy at all, but if you talk a bit with him, you can see how deep he is and how profound his mind works, and he has this artistic energy that's why yes, he can sing, he can draw, he can do a lot of things. He's like he expresses himself through art. And it was very important how he was going to transmit what was happening to him, because he wouldn't have so many dialogues. So we really need him to express, to know what was happening to the character and be able to transmit it without words, which is something very, very difficult. And we worked with 2 very talented Maria Laura Berch and Maria Milesi, which helped us, which made the casting and then the actoral coaching for the kids, for both kids. So we we did it collectively. And yeah, we worked about that. Like we really work on the bond between the brother and sister, which we really need to be really close and comfortable, and it really worked. They were actually like best friends during the shooting, and we work on how he would be much calmer, much serious, much quieter than he actually is. And he did it actually.
Did you give the script to the Lucio Tristan or not?
The what? Sorry.
The screenplay. Did they read, or it was more about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I wanted to read it and to know, like, we talked about how much he felt he was like Lucio, what differentiates him from Lucio, and yeah, how did it feel about that? Yeah, it was very interesting to know how he felt about that. Yes, I think it's important. Yes, then we changed some things about the script, but we wanted for him to see what was like the original idea.
Okay. And with the father, how did you work? How did you cast him?
That's true. Well, he actually, Maria Laura Berch, the same person which made the casting, recommended us Danny, which is this so sweet. So like we were thinking about how important, I'm sorry, you know, like how important the hug he can give to his boy will be. So we wanted this bear hug and someone so sweet trying and not being able, and then you get this energy from him, like he's so sweet, but he's able to make mistakes and he will feel bad about that, but he will keep trying. He had that energy I wanted for the father, so he was perfect for that. Yeah.